Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and this here is my little craft corner where I share mostly knitting related updates, videos, pattern videos, whatever. And today it is time for a new knitting podcast. So it's been almost a month since I last caught you up, and in the meantime I've shared a video in which I'm planning my summer knits, and in that video I shared that I will be ignoring all the works in progress that I had at that point and just starting all over for summer. Just so I can cast on some new things, so I can cast on some summer tops. So you won't be seeing, I think, all of the works in progress I had in the previous video, but that means that I have a lot of new and exciting things to share with you this video. Starting with what I'm wearing. This is the Camisole number 6 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and it is almost finished. I cast this on beginning of the month, like first week or maybe beginning of the second week of the month. It's flying by so fast. Let me stand up so you can see how far I've gotten already. This is what it's looking like now. Just need to be careful that this won't pop out. But as you can see, we're almost done. Just a couple more centimeters, really. I just stuffed all the yarn in here, but yeah, this is looking pretty cute right now. It fits perfectly, and this is knit up on 4mm needles, so it's flying by really fast. I am knitting this in 2 yarns held together. I'm going to grab them right now. So first of all, I'm using the Lana Grosse Meidenwijd Merino hand-dyed yarn in the colorway Chai. This is a sock yarn, so I think it is 80% wool and 20% polyamide, and it is machine washable. So I'm using this. So far I've only used one skein of this, and that is perfect. I don't think I'll be using the entire skein for this even. And I'm holding that together with this onion knit yarn. It's the nettle sock yarn with 70% wool and 30% nettle fibers. And this is not machine washable, but it is very pretty, very soft, and it just pairs, like, not perfectly together because obviously this is variegated, this is not, but I think it blends pretty well together on this item. So I'm now using this for Camisole number 6. I'm on my second skein of this because this is a 50-gram skein. Again, don't think I'll be using the entire skein. But I'm now using this for Camisole number 6, and after that I'm going to be knitting shorts number 1 in this same yarn. Just get it through, but I thought it would consume a bit more yarn, so I will have some things left over. I think I'll have like maybe 50 grams of this left over at the end, and maybe a couple skeins even of this. So I just thought it would consume a bit more yarn. I did the calculations. It told me to buy a lot more yarn than I'm currently using for this. I don't know, maybe the shorts will just be longer shorts, I don't know. But this, I don't think needs a lot more than a couple centimeters. It is currently hitting right at the top of the bottom band. I want to have the option to kind of tuck it in, as this is going to be more loungewear. I just want to be able to tuck it in a bit, but this is currently on just about 24 centimeters, and the pattern says to knit until 30 centimeters, but I think I'm sitting on my tiptoes right now, but I think this would be just too long. I'm going to be knitting the shorts as well, and those are, I think, well, these pants are pretty high-waisted, but I think the shorts are pretty high-waisted as well, so I have a look at that to kind of calculate how long I should knit this, but I don't think it's going to be much more than this. So this is a pretty quick knit. My first summer cast on, my first summer cast off. Speaking of camisoles. And yeah, it is just very cozy to lounge in the summer or in the autumn because it is knit up with 2 strands of sock yarn held together. It's not the coolest, but I feel like this would be great for just kind of the colder-ish summer days, beginning of autumn days where you just lounge in this and the shorts. It's also not the softest thing to wear, I will say that, but I'm kind of not bothered by it. It's not itching or anything, it's not just kind of prickling maybe. I don't know, but I'm just not too bothered by it. I can wear this a full day, I think. With washing, it will also just kind of smooth out a bit. I don't know, but I'm really happy with this. If I would make it another time, I don't think I'll be using the same kind of yarn. I don't think I'll be using sock yarns, like 2 sock yarns held together to knit a summer camisole for millimeter needles. Don't think that was the smartest idea, but I really like how this is turning out. And I do think this will be a staple for me to wear throughout summer, throughout autumn, spring, maybe even winter. I don't know, it's not too hot, but it's keeping me nice and warm. So who knows when I'll wear this, but I think it will be a lot. So that is the first thing I wanted to talk to you about. The camisole number 6, which is almost finished. And I think that's pretty unique for me to have something, to not share something in the previous podcast and the next podcast have it almost be finished. That's wild, that's new, but I'm very happy with that. I do have one finished, well it is finished, but it's a sock, and socks come in pairs of 2 obviously, and I have not cast on the second sock yet. So this is finished, but also not. This is just a plain vanilla sock I knit in not my most recent video, but the video before that. We'll pop it up above here, where I tried to knit this sock in 48 hours. And if you watch this video, you know how far I've gotten in 48 hours. But this is the pretty sock that I made. This is the main color is hand-dyed yarn by Wayfarer. It's a 75-25 type of yarn, and the other one, the accent color, is hand-dyed by Dutch Wool Diva, also sock yarn 75-25. And yeah, I really like this sock. It fits me perfectly. I cannot wait to cast on the second sock. I don't really know why I haven't yet. Maybe it's because it's been so caught up with the camisoles that I'm knitting and just not really interested in casting on a sock right now. But I now know how long it will take me to knit this sock if I just sit down and power through. It shouldn't take too long, but this is one finished object and I'm really happy with it. I think the colors blend pretty well together. Like this is obviously very bright, but there are like brighter speckles in here. Could have also done like a blue accent color, maybe that would have been nice. But I think this also looks great. And I'm pretty happy with it. It's the first time I'm knitting a sock with accent colors and actually having to switch out yarns for it. I did knit a sock that had accent colors, but it was like done by the sock yarn itself. That were the Kind of Magic socks by Wool and the Gang and Regia yarns together. So this is the first time I did like my own color scheme on it. I really like that. I really like how it turned out. Just need to cast on the second sock. But we all know how that goes, right? As that's the first finished object, or the second thing I wanted to talk to you about. Then I have another work in progress that has been going quite smoothly. I cast this on beginning of this week. It's now Saturday and I think I cast this on Tuesday. Granted, I've been home for all those days. But it is the Wayfarer Tee by Woodlands Knits. 2 S's there. And it is a test knit I'm doing for her. And this, I will try it on right now for you. I'm almost done with the raglan increases. But, yeah, so I'm almost done with the raglan increases. And it's going pretty smoothly, pretty quickly. And I really enjoy that. Don't know if I did it the right way around. Yeah. It's the right way around. I only have like 6 more rounds until I'm supposed to be splitting for sleeves. And I don't know if I'm going to make that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be ready for that in 6 rounds. I was on gauge for this, but I don't know. It might just be good enough, but and on the back it's rolling up obviously, but yeah, I don't know if 6 rounds is going to make this like good enough for splitting. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll keep on knitting. Probably be splitting today either way. Might just do a couple more rounds before splitting, but yeah, I think it's not that much work. I think end of the day I will have this split for sleeves and then it's just straight on stockinette, doing some sleeves, and we're done. So I kind of applied for this test knit on a whim because I did have other plans for this yarn that I shared in my summer knitting plans video. But this came along, I thought it looked nice. I thought it would be perfect for this yarn. I was on gauge. So we're knitting this now. This is very lovely yarn to work with also. It's super drapey. It is this yarn that I got from my parents a couple months ago. It is by Third Vault Yarns. It is hand-dyed. It's bamboo yarn. 100% bamboo yarn, fingering weight. And the color I still cannot pronounce. Oh, I got it. It is Marvelous Pigments. Finally got it. I've been staring at this for a long time, trying to figure out what the color name is because I cannot read. But it's Marvelous Pigments, and this is gentle washing is recommended. It's not super wash. It's 100% bamboo. It is so soft. It is so cold as well. Like I feel like this will not heat up at all. If you're wearing this, like obviously don't wear this when you're going to do some heavy work or whatever, but I feel like you can just wear this out and about and it will be fine. There is some color pooling going on. Like here I had a couple rounds where it's kind of the same color in the same spot. I don't mind it that much. I knew that in the raglan I wouldn't alternate skeins either way. And I knew when this color pooling happened that it would only be a couple rounds because obviously if you keep increasing, the same color is not going to keep ending up at the same spot. So I knew it would be fine, and it did turn out fine. It's now not pooling anymore. We're doing good. Yeah, so not feeling too bad about it. I'm not sure if I'll be alternating skeins when I'm half split. I'll have to see how the colors kind of line up with the new amount of stitches that will be on my needles. I don't know. I really like how this is looking. I really like that it goes from super stripy to super pooling and then stripy again. It's just kind of the fun of knitting with variegated yarn for me is you don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know how, like, where the colors will end up. Like, every stitch is different. Every round, something new. So I'm also really excited to just keep on knitting every time and just figure out which color is going to end up where, you know? Like, it's just super addictive. So yeah, this is the Wayfarer Tee by Woodlands Knits. I'm having a hard time pronouncing all the S's to come directly to the right account because I did tell some knitting friends that I'm knitting this and then they looked up the account and they missed one S and ended up on a different account and it was all very confusing. It's Woodlands Knits, like double S there, remember that. So this is the third and final project that I'm telling you about. Like, that was all my needles and now the socks are off my needles. This is almost off my needles. This is begun. I have another whip, so sorry. I cast on something else. I lied to you. There is a fourth whip that I have really only done the bare minimum about. It is this camisole. It is Camisole number 7. Let me get the needle out of the yarn. It is Camisole number 7 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And I cast that on right before I got the test knit. And then I was like, let's prioritize the test knit first. So I put this on hold. But this is Camisole number 7 by My Favorite Things Knitwear in another lovely variegated hand-dyed yarn. This yarn is from Lindewool. It is hand-dyed, as I already told you. It's one thread of merino. And it is the color Mos Agate, which is like a mossy color. Yeah, I have 2 skeins of this. I just cast on with the first skein. I absolutely love Broken Rib. I tried it for the first time. And it is just so pretty. I feel like the variegated yarn also comes out great and this is not too variegated. I love this a lot. I cannot wait to knit on this a bit more, but I'll finish either this one or that one, or I have a whole knitting schedule for summer and it's basically looking like 3 or maybe 4 maximum projects at the same time, and it's kind of alternating between I have something that I'm working on, like the increases, decreases, yoke stuff, like the complicated stuff, and then I'll have a couple other things that I'm just knitting it around. So I'm just doing straight stockinette, or this is 6x6 ribbing, or, you know, just working on the body, working my way down the body, just easier stuff like that. And yeah, so that's how I kind of divide up my knitting, and then I have a goal for each day. So for this, it's either centimeters. For the t-shirt, it is like a couple of rounds, so the increases, like how many increases I want to have done on the yoke. For this, it will also be increase based, so maybe one day my goal will be like, oh, knit the entire front right panel, and then the next day knit the front left, something like that. So it's kind of not a super tight schedule, but I really enjoy scheduling things in Excel. I know. I really enjoy kind of making an overview of, oh, what goals do I want to hit each day, and then I kind of lowball those goals. I'm currently like 2 days ahead on all of them, which feels great, but it's just so I can kind of better gauge how much I realistically will have done in a month. I feel like if I would have told you, oh, I'm knitting this, I'm knitting the t-shirt, I'm knitting Cami number 7, I find it very hard to equally divide my attention between the 3 of them. So I'm just doing it schedule based and it's going pretty great. Having said that, those were all my whips. I will now move on to things that I'm casting on this month, maybe. So I have to see if my schedule allows it. But these are some things that I'm pretty excited to cast on. And first of all, it's like there's an entire table of yarn here. First of all, this one. If you see my summer planning video, you know what this will be. This is the Knitting for Olive Merino in the colorway Bottle Green. And this will be Camisole number 4. So probably after I've done, like, join in the round for my Camisole number 7, I'll move on to number 2 to join, to like work on those 4 triangles to put it all together. So Camisole number 4 will be upcoming for me. Really excited to knit that. Really excited to work with Knitting for Olive. Then this yarn, again, if you see my summer planning, you know what this is going to be. This is Scentless Garn Tin Lina in the colorway. Do we have a colorway on here? Oh, it's color number 5930. Lovely. This is going to be the Cumulus Tee. And I'm going to cast this on once I've cast the Wayfarer Tee off, just because they will be using the same needles. So that's an easy way for me to like gauge when I'll be starting this. And I don't really want to knit 2 t-shirts at the same time. So this will be cast on once this will be cast off. Scentless Garn Tin Lina will become the Cumulus Tee, and I will finally knit this because I've been saying that I'm going to cast this on for a year now. Because I bought it last year in Germany. Then I have this one and this one. And if you've paid attention to the first part of my video, you will know that this is becoming shorts number 1. So when I've finished this, because you know, the same needles, when I finish this, I will move on to this for shorts number 1. And then I just have to pair it together. Then something that's pretty ambitious. It involves this glory, this lovely cone, and this merino. Like, these two together will become a Monday sweater. This is from Holland Creatief. It is called Yarn on Cone. And it is 75% wool, 25% nylon. And this is 500 grams equaling 2100 meters. For needle sizes 2 to 3.5. And I really want to pair this together with this Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Merino in the colorway Cloud or Sky. And this is 75% mohair and 30% silk. This together will become the Monday sweater. And it's pretty ambitious for me to be starting this on top of all the other things. So I don't know yet if it will happen. But I really want to start a sweater because, I don't know, it is summer. And in the Netherlands, summer means whatever. So sometimes it is sunny, like it's sunny right now, but an hour ago or half an hour ago, like I feel like whenever I started this podcast it was still pretty gloomy outside, and before that it had rained quite a bit. So you never know what weather you're going to get. So this sweater will be really nice to work on, to have in my wardrobe, and this will become a at-home project for me to work on, because obviously it's worked on a cone and I'm not going to be dragging this cone around with me, and I'm also not going to wind it up in skeins because I like the whole part of me knitting on a cone is I don't have to weave in any ends. I can just knit and knit and knit and knit, and then it's done. So not going to be putting this in skeins. I'm just going to be knitting on it from a cone at my home. And I also have this one that's obviously is going to run out before this because this is just 225 meters. So this is going to be running out way before this. So we'll have some ends to weave in, but at least I don't have any red ends to weave in. Like this, it's just going to be a very nice Monday sweater. It's kind of marled together. The inspiration for this was kind of this string that holds it all together. It's kind of the red and whites together. I did pick the white shade from Knitting for Olive that has the most pink undertone in it, so it's kind of blending together. I don't know, I'm just also really excited to see how this will blend together and like if it actually looks as great as I had in my head. Yeah, this is going to be a dream project for me to work on. This might be a slower project because obviously it is a sweater instead of just camisoles. I don't know when I'm casting this on, it's not in my schedule yet, but we will see. Yeah, so those were all the things I wanted to share with you today. I'm having a lot of fun knitting this all up. It's kind of became a shorter podcast today because there's not as much to talk about. I don't have any finished objects really. I don't have a lot of whips going on because I just kind of am ignoring all of them right now just so I can get some camisoles out, some fun projects going. I'm having fun a lot. I hope you're having fun as well in your knitting. Please share with me what you're working on. Like, would you ever consider just ignoring all your whips? Or do you think I'm crazy? Please let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys again real soon. Bye!